That's the everyday of entrepreneurship. You will always feel like you're not doing enough, you're failing at something. So many people do this. You fight against relaxing and letting go and just turning off. But the thing is, you keep going and you're burning yourself out. And then when you actually allow yourself to disconnect and just go, you come back with like a lot more energy and just seeing things clearer, and you have focus. In these sorts of events, you always learn a lot. That doesn't mean that's going to drive your business forward. It is important to know when to push forward, when to rest. Definitely, if you see signs like, burning out, I'm crazy for this. And because I know that I have no filters and for me, there's no stopping. So I know that I have to make lists of things that I accomplished, so then I feel like, okay, I've done things. I'm okay. This is, what is it that you would want from a toy like that? What is it that you would want from a sensory room like that? So and you are in the right place to ask those questions. That's normal. That's the everyday of entrepreneurship. You will always feel like you're not doing enough, you're failing at something. It's like people that go into entrepreneurship, not everyone, because now it's fashion to go into entrepreneurship. It's fashion to be an entrepreneur. I normally say that I was an entrepreneur because before it was fashion. So then people that stay in it, it's because they don't have something that the others have. Everybody thinks that people that are high achievers, they have something that others don't, and it's sort of like the other way around. They lack something, and that something is the stop. Like they always feel like they have to keep going, keep achieving. So in this case, I think that it's just you getting like that entrepreneurship, I've done all of this, and then I always feel like I'm not doing enough because either you might be seeing results, but then you might have an expectation in your head of like a number or a milestone, and then you haven't reached that yet. So then you're like, okay, so then everything that I do until then sort of feels like a failure, but it's not, because you're just having those micro wins every day. In these sorts of events, you always learn a lot. That doesn't mean that's gonna drive your business forward. I see so many events daily, and then sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I'll go to this networking thing, this tech thing in the city or something like that. It doesn't mean that will drive your business forward. You'll meet nice people, you make contacts, but that does not mean you will, you'll bring something to the business. So in the end of the day, it's adding to the bucket, but maybe to the wrong bucket, and it's depleting your energy that you need to be able to run the business and move the business forward. So it's like, it doesn't mean it's a bad, but it ends up being a negative. With that, it's important to know when to push forward, when to rest. Definitely, if you see signs like, burning out, just take a step back. This talking from someone who goes non-stop, and then when I start seeing the burnout, then I keep going. So it's like, it's great that you're doing all of this, but limit the amount of other things that you can, like, if more things come along, maybe, you need to start thinking, okay, kind of prioritizing, which is more important. 1 to 5, that's it. And then if it comes a 6, like we say, okay, maybe in the future, but not right now. It's going to be difficult to say no to things too, because especially now at this phase, you want to say yes to everything. But saying no sometimes is not only a superpower and one of the best skills to have in business, but also can save your business a lot of money, time, and can save you a lot of time and energy. I'm crazy for this, and because I know that I have no filters and for me, there's no stopping. So I know that I have to make lists of things that I accomplished, so then I feel like, okay, I've done things. I'm okay. This is, things are moving along, they're evolving, because I just feel like it's never enough. So if you one of those people that also falls into that trap, just do a list of things that you've done. I use planners and like to-do lists and a lot of like records things, but also it's good to measure. It's good to look forward like 1 year from now, and you go back and you say, oh, on this day I have this project on my list, this was my priority, I cut ties with the old manufacturer, but now we have, like, you're gonna see, now I have a whole new catalog and better toys and more diversity and things like that, and more offer and clients I have. So it's good for you to go and look back to see what got you to the next stage, because there'll come a time where you want to grow more, because now you're kind of at that stage where you're beginning to grow. There'll be a jump. There'll be a time that it's like, I'm doing all this work, and then there'll be a big jump. I just wanted to say, in terms of the priorities, just make sure that, for example, if your first priority is the contracts, if it's like your first priority, then make sure that the amount of hours that you're dedicating to that is the largest amount of hours that you have within that bucket. So if you're dedicating, 40 hours a week to your business, it's like, okay, if this is my number one priority and I have 5 priorities, then I want to make sure that this gets the biggest chunk of my hours, like 8 hours or 10 hours. You've worked with this for years. You know what people want. You are at the right place where you can ask the client, the end client, what they need. Like, what is the problem that they're trying to solve within that? I mean, problem in terms of like the business sense of it. Like, what is it that you would want from a toy like that? What is it that you would want from a sensory room like that? So and you are in the right place to ask those questions, and then kind of reverse engineer it. You go, you ask them what they want, and then you build it, which is great because then you already validated your product before you even designed it. So it's great. It's a great position to be in. If everybody did that before they made businesses, a lot less businesses would fail. People tend to hire someone to make the sale for them too early, but then they say, oh, but I spend all my day, like all my Sunday replying to emails. So it's like, why didn't you get someone to do the admin, which is like less skilled work, the work that you need, that anyone can do as long as they within your business and they understand, okay, this is an exchange, this is exchange with the client, this is exchange with the supplier, etc. Why hire someone that will be a lot more expensive and that needs a skill that is a lot more difficult to get, like sell, and not like someone who can do your admin for you? So as you kind of progress, see where your hours are going in the business, because you have a lot going on. So we want your hours, because they're precious, to be dedicated to the things that matter the most. So many people do this. You fight against relaxing and letting go and just turning off. But the thing is, you keep going and you're burning yourself out. And then when you actually allow yourself to disconnect and just go, you come back with like a lot more energy and just seeing things clearer, and you have focus. Every time you feel like you need a break, just take the break. Your body knows best. Do not ignore the signs. You shouldn't feel guilty. It's what will keep you going long term. It's taking those breaks. I'm preparing to launch a non-profit with Queen's College, where I want to help people like me. Basically, I'm solving the problem that I had when I was their age, where I knew what I wanted to do, but I had no resources. I didn't know how to get there. I had no one to help me. I didn't have the support system at home. And Queens especially, we have a lot of that issue because we have a lot of first and second generation students going to college. Parents want them to go to college because they want them to go to college. And if they don't have anything that is doctor, lawyer, engineer in front of their title, they're like,
you don't want to hear it.
Exactly. And a lot of the kids end up doing things that they don't want to do because they completely like, oh, my parents wanted me to do this, and now I'm like in computer science because my parents think that, oh, if I'm a software engineer, then I'll make a lot of money and I'll be successful, but I don't want to do this. So basically, I'm trying to solve two problems at once.